And I'm going to talk about the proliferation of women's sports and that much debated and discussed term, the Caitlin Clark effect.
One word to describe Caitlin Clark.
Amazing.
Yes.
A beast. She is the truth.
There's nothing wrong with the resentment that you may feel towards what she represents.
Caitlin Clark effect is real.
Imagine a player redefining an entire sport without ever touching the floor. She's eclipsing LeBron, forcing billionaires to gamble millions, and rescuing a legendary brand from the brink of collapse. Remarkably, all of this unfolds while she's sidelined, injured, and forced to watch instead of play. How could that even be possible? Just 5 years ago, this would have sounded like pure fantasy, utterly impossible. Today, it's our reality. And what's coming in 2026 promises to be far bigger than any stat line or headline. This is a seismic cultural shift, the kind that reverberates across basketball, women's sports, and the very perception of how much influence a single athlete can wield.
Sports story of the year.
Okay, ladies first, right? So I'm going to talk about the ladies, and I'm going to talk about the proliferation of women's sports and that much debated and discussed term, the Caitlin Clark effect, which is really an umbrella term for everything that happened in sports because it was so much more far-reaching. People are actually making a financial investment because it's smart, the numbers are there, it makes money.
The Caitlin Clark phenomenon isn't just hype. It's unstoppable pressure, and the big question on everyone's mind is, can anyone actually slow it down? The sports world is holding its breath as this wave refuses to lose momentum, continuing to surge forward with undeniable force. Clark is not just playing the game. She's commanding every conversation around it. PSA recently released their 2025 numbers, leaving fans and collectors alike scrambling to comprehend the staggering impact. For those unfamiliar, PSA is the authority that grades trading cards and essentially writes the rules for the entire collectibles market. When PSA speaks, the community listens, and right now all eyes are locked on Clark.
Autographed Superfractor rookie card sold for $78,000. So how does it feel to have a piece of cardboard out there with your signature on it worth so much money?
I think it's cool. I mean, I grew up collecting cards with my older brother. I just wanted whatever my older brother had, and I would just take what he had. And like, if he got something good, I'd be pissed, and I'd like go tell my mom about it.
I love it.
When it comes to measuring real influence in sports culture, the yearly rankings don't lie, and the 2025 report left one fact impossible to ignore. Caitlin Clark has officially become the most collected active basketball player in the world. Take a moment to let that sink in. She didn't quietly enter the upper echelon, nor did she just scrape near the top. Clark completely dominated the field, surpassing LeBron James, the basketball icon who has ruled the sport for over 20 years. Keep in mind, LeBron boasts 4 championships, 4 MVP awards, and holds the all-time scoring record. Yet Clark outpaced every active NBA player alive. What makes this even more astonishing is how she did it. While sidelined, injured, and not playing a single meaningful game, she simultaneously reshaped both the market and the culture of the sport, proving her influence transcends the court itself.
Billion-dollar athlete. Like, when I see these numbers, I'm like, oh, this is Tiger in the tour. This isn't even Jordan. This is totally...
Forget the idea of a lucky streak. This isn't a fleeting spike. It's a genuine transformation in how sports culture moves and who commands attention. The dominance goes even deeper when you dive into PSA's full geographic breakdown, a detailed state-by-state map showing which athletes are getting graded the most. Click into basketball and the debate is instantly over. It's pure Clark territory. From coast to coast, collectors are sending in more Caitlin Clark cards than anyone else, creating a visual that looks like a landslide election map where a single name blankets nearly every state. The numbers leave zero room for doubt. The map tells the story on its own. Clark also claimed 3 of the 10 most graded cards overall in 2025, not just in basketball but across every sport: football, baseball, hockey, stacking up against Patrick Mahomes, Shohei Ohtani, and Connor McDavid, and still coming out on top. And the timeline makes it even more astonishing. In 2024, Clark was ranked 6th among the most collected basketball players, respected and solid, but nowhere near the unstoppable force she has become. By 2025, Caitlin Clark had catapulted straight to number 1, despite missing the majority of the season due to injury. A leap from 6th to 1st that demands pause, because achieving that kind of influence while sidelined is a level almost no athlete ever reaches. Ryan Hogg, president of PSA, weighed in explaining, "This kind of momentum is reserved only for the most elite athletes. This isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about cultural impact that stretches far beyond the court. When a player can dominate the collectibles market while watching games from the bench, they enter a rare stratosphere few in history ever touch. At that point, the sport no longer defines you. You become a cultural icon whose value isn't tied to active competition. Your name alone commands attention. Your image alone generates enormous money. And that is precisely why some of the wealthiest and most powerful figures on the planet are placing massive bets on what Caitlin Clark is about to unleash in 2026, funneling millions from personal fortunes directly into one major company, Nike."
Buy Caitlin Clark things, and they especially want to buy Caitlin Clark Nike things. Why is Nike continuing to wait so long into her WNBA career when you could have put something out last year and it would have sold out? It doesn't make much sense.
Nike was in rough shape heading into May 2025, with its stock down nearly 60% since 2021. A collapse, not just a dip. One of the world's most iconic brands, which had defined sports culture for decades, was suddenly losing relevance. Analysts questioned if Nike had lost its edge, while nimble newcomers like On Running and Hoka were making the giant look slow and outdated. The swoosh, once a symbol of dominance, now felt like a relic. Investors were anxious, employees unsettled, and the entire sports apparel industry watched closely to see if Nike could recover. Then the Caitlin Clark signature shoe saga highlighted just how misaligned Nike's strategy had become. The 2025 market screamed for her shoe, yet Nike passed, giving A.A. Wilson, despite her statistical dominance, the first signature release. That decision only amplified the spotlight on what Nike had missed with Clark. A.A. Wilson absolutely commands respect. An elite athlete and multi-time champion whose achievements speak for themselves. But from a market perspective, the question was obvious. Why was Caitlin Clark, the biggest draw in women's sports, still waiting? The player filling arenas, boosting TV ratings, and generating non-stop attention wasn't the one getting the shoe everyone wanted. Whether due to production delays, strategic missteps, or corporate red tape, the result stayed the same. Fans saw it as another Nike misstep, a clear disconnect from market demand. For many, it reinforced the belief that Nike's glory days might be fading. The brand that once led trends was now consistently reacting too late. Confidence around Nike had been slipping, and the chatter only grew louder, but the story took a sharp turn behind the scenes. On December 22, 2025, Apple CEO Tim Cook made a move that stunned the business world. He purchased 50,000 shares of Nike stock. Consider that for a moment. Cook doesn't need risky bets. His fortune allows him to sit comfortably on safe investments forever. When someone with elite access to data, advisors, and market insight invests millions of personal dollars into a struggling brand, it signals serious confidence, insider knowledge, and deep research. Cook wasn't alone. Nike CEO Elliott Hill also stepped in, buying roughly $1 million in stock toward the end of 2025, showing the leadership itself believed in the company's comeback. When a CEO puts personal money on the line, it's never casual. Elliott Hill's investment in Nike sent a clear, unmistakable signal. If a company were about to collapse, leaders sell quietly to protect themselves. Hill did the opposite. He bought in, risking real money as a public show of confidence that cannot be misread. Now the results are speaking loudly. On a recent business call, Hill revealed Nike's North American business grew 9%, hitting roughly $63 billion in the latest fiscal quarter. After years of decline and doubts about relevance, the rebound is undeniable, and the question on everyone's mind is why. Many point to one key factor: Caitlin Clark's signature shoe, Nike's quiet ace. Then on December 31st, Clark joined the New Heights podcast with Travis and Jason Kelce, covering her college career, injury recovery, and mindset. But one moment in that interview stood out in a way that truly resonated. Sneaker fans, investors, and basketball enthusiasts had every reason to lean in during Caitlin Clark's New Heights podcast appearance. When asked about her role in designing her signature shoe, she revealed just how hands-on she was, picky about the tech, feel, and performance standards. Clark shared her admiration for certain Kobe models built for balance and responsiveness, then raised the stakes. Her shoe had to match or exceed that level of technology. She went further, promising new tech never used before, developed specifically for her shoe. The message was clear. Excitement is coming. Nike, a company that shaped basketball footwear with legends like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James, is now creating entirely new technology for Clark. Not a simple rebrand, not a color swap, but a true innovation designed around her game. Nike's innovation team, the very group behind Flyknit, React Foam, and AirTech, is building something entirely new from the ground up, signaling just how serious this project is. The rollout has already begun. A Christmas commercial featuring Caitlin Clark introduced the "From Anywhere" tagline, two simple words capturing her superpower. She can pull up from anywhere on the court, under any pressure, without perfect spacing or proximity to the rim. Nike is orchestrating a full marketing push around this ability. No soft launch, no trial run, they are fully committed. The shoe arrives in 2026, exact date under wraps, but what matters most is who is backing it. Two of the world's sharpest CEOs, Tim Cook and Elliott Hill, men who have built and protected multi-trillion-dollar companies, are risking their own money on this move. This is not luck or hype. It is precision calculation. Tim Cook and Elliott Hill are data-driven operators with access to market research most will never see. And when both place the same high-stakes bet on the same athlete, it signals unparalleled confidence. They are backing Caitlin Clark and Nike in 2026. And that alone speaks volumes. Clark has already become must-watch appointment TV. And imagine what happens when she steps back onto the court. Everything changes. Even as a rookie, her game is undeniable. Pulling up for a three-pointer, attacking the rim, getting to the free throw line, and reading defenses with craftiness. She can backdoor pass defenders, involve her teammates, pass, shoot. She is a complete, unstoppable basketball player whose presence shifts the entire game. When Caitlin Clark steps on the court, narratives trying to explain WNBA momentum without her completely crumble. A glimpse of this arrived in May 2025, setting the stage for what's next. After 6 months away, she played a preseason exhibition against the Brazilian national team, normally a low-key tune-up attracting a few hundred fans. Instead, Carver Hawkeye Arena sold out in minutes, and ESPN, known for selective national coverage, broadcast the game. Astonishingly, 1.3 million viewers tuned in, nearly matching the 2025 WNBA Finals, which averaged about 1.5 million, even after accounting for Nielsen's expanded ratings system covering more devices and platforms. A meaningless preseason scrimmage featuring Clark almost equaled the league's championship audience, proving the extraordinary pull she commands before the season even begins. Even compared to earlier 2025 games, Caitlin Clark's preseason viewership already stood out, and when stacked against previous years, it likely exceeded the WNBA Finals. Think about that. The league's biggest, most high-stakes games couldn't match the attention drawn by Clark shaking off rust against a team most Americans had never followed. This isn't a knock on other players. It's the reality of the cultural pull she commands, operating entirely outside typical league patterns. Fast forward to 2026. Caitlin returns in brand new shoes, backed by Nike's full marketing power, after a season of non-stop build-up and coverage. With every major outlet tracking her comeback, the viewership ceiling is shattered, and the expanded Nielsen ratings finally highlight the true magnitude of her impact on women's basketball. Caitlin Clark's first game of the 2025 season against the Chicago Sky drew 2.7 million viewers under the old rating system. Now factor in the new Nielsen methodology, the Nike shoe launch, and the story of a superstar returning from injury as a full cultural phenomenon, and the number is staggering. Hold this. Her return game easily clears 5 million viewers, putting a WNBA regular season matchup in the same league as NBA playoff telecasts. Appointment television doesn't get bigger than this. Her debut against the Connecticut Sun is already sold out, the Sun's first home opener sellout since 2003, and ticket prices have soared, with courtside seats reselling for over $2,000. Other teams like the Las Vegas Aces and Washington Mystics are moving to larger venues for Clark's appearances, while the Indiana Fever have become the most followed WNBA team on Instagram. Caitlin's games are no longer regional or optional. They're national inventory, and networks know the message. When she plays, viewers show up. Matchups, timing, or competing events no longer matter. Caitlin Clark guarantees attention wherever she appears. Her presence transforms programming into scheduled must-watch television, drawing casual fans alongside longtime basketball enthusiasts. By 2026, with every piece aligned, her influence is fully visible. She drives a cultural shift that goes far beyond points or wins, commanding visibility, impact, and consistency across platforms. Clark controls the collectibles market while sidelined, becomes the most collected basketball player in the country without playing, inspires corporate leaders to invest personal money, and reshapes Nike's innovation pipeline around her shoe. Broadcasters adjust coverage because her games exceed expectations. This isn't marketing spin. It's demand-driven reality. The numbers follow her, and in 2026 she operates not just as a star athlete, but as a bridge between sports, business, and mainstream culture, with sellout preseason games as proof. Every time Caitlin Clark trends, social media timelines erupt, proving she has crossed far beyond basketball into mainstream pop culture. This isn't manufactured hype. It's the market speaking in real time. Fans vote with money, clicks, and attention. Collectors chase her cards. Networks pay premium rates to air her games. Nike invests heavily in R&D for her signature shoe, and top CEOs commit personal capital based on her influence. Every measurable signal points in the same direction, louder with each moment. Clark is no longer just an athlete. She is a brand, a movement, and living proof that women's sports can command mainstream interest equal to critics claimed once the novelty wore off. Fans would lose interest in a woman dominating the game in unprecedented ways, but that prediction aged poorly. Attention didn't fade, it multiplied. Others argued that missing time would stall momentum, yet her absence only fueled it. Demand for trading cards climbed, executive investments grew, media commitments expanded. Every measurable signal proved the same truth. Caitlin Clark's influence isn't tied to box scores or minutes played. Her name alone moves markets, her return becomes an instant event, brand partnerships generate real returns, broadcast plans revolve around her schedule, and marketing campaigns orbit her presence. Millions of eyes are already watching everything, from shoes to screens to storylines, is aligned around a single force, Caitlin Clark. For some reason, this young athlete is the one everyone wants to watch, and if you don't see it, you're missing the point. Caitlin Clark is no longer just playing basketball. She's reshaping the culture, rewriting the business model, and proving that women's sports can command the same stage, attention, and economic power as any male counterpart. The real question now is whether leagues, sponsors, and media can keep up, because 2026 isn't a finish line. It's the opening chapter. When she steps back onto the court, the world won't just watch. It will witness a real-time shift. Numbers, money, attention, timing, all of it points in one direction. Clark didn't just rise through basketball, she broke through it, reaching a level where leagues adjust, brands reposition, and media follows. This isn't a comeback story. It's a power shift. Her influence doesn't pause when the game stops. A 2-week absence caused ticket sales to drop 71% according to SeatGeek, proving the demand only grows louder when she's off the court. That is rare territory. That is cultural weight. By the time Caitlin Clark steps back on the court, the stage will already be set. Cameras locked in, arenas buzzing, and expectations towering higher than ever before. Her impact will stretch far beyond box scores or wins. It's business, culture, and sport colliding in real time. This moment didn't appear out of nowhere. It has been building quietly while doubters argued. Critics looked the other way, and the world underestimated her pull. Now it's impossible to ignore. Every metric, every signal, every sale, every view, every corporate investment points to the same conclusion. Clark is reshaping the game from the inside out. If you want to stay ahead, not react after it breaks or trends, that's where Courtside Leaks comes in. No fluff, no recycled takes. Just the real signals, the backstage moves, the untold stories shaping the WNBA and the broader sports landscape. We cover every angle, every leak, every hidden twist, every moment they won't show you. Hit like, subscribe, drop a comment, and share. Stay locked in with Courtside Leaks, your front row seat to the truth behind the headlines, the business, and the culture driving women's basketball forward.